Good afternoon, everybody. This is Travis P11 and welcome back to the channel. And today we are taking the CZ Shadow 2 back out to the range for yet another range test. We just tested this about a week ago. We ran some basic ball ammunition through it, ran some Hornady critical defense through it. I just did some tests to see what the accuracy is like, to see how the firearm feels and so on. Now, it might look just a little bit different from how we saw it last time. There's been some minor modifications that I had made to this firearm. First of all, I did reach out to a buddy of mine who goes by the name of Foos, and I asked him questions about the Shadow 2. I said, what can I do to maybe lighten up the trigger a little bit? What can I do to maybe reduce the recoil impulse? You know, what do people usually do to tune these things up? And then that puts you down a complete rabbit hole of tuning for these firearms. You can do anything you want to this particular pistol. First of all, out of the box, it is a very good shooter. It's very smooth, it's very comfortable. It's a little bit heavy, but it's very stable, and it's basically competition ready. So the first thing I did just for myself was I installed the ledge safety. I like a safety that's a little bit easier for me to engage, because again, it is hammer fired, single action, double action. The second thing that I did was install, thanks to Foos, a couple springs. We installed the Cajun Gunworks 11-pound recoil spring and the Cajun Gunworks 13-pound hammer spring. Now, from what I've been reading and what I've been seeing online, you know, in the CZ forums and so on, it's a pretty good sweet spot. It's a good compromise between proper ignition of the firearm ammunition and then also recoil, trigger pull. It creates a nice balance for this particular pistol. If I have any issues at all, if the ammunition we're going to be shooting today, which I'll show you here in just a moment, has any problems whatsoever, I'm just going to put back the original stock springs because it fires just about everything I fed it the last time we went to the range. Foos also sent me a set of lock grips for it. They're just a little bit used, but they don't have these super sharp edges in them, but they do definitely help with that positive engagement and lock up with your hand on the pistol. I like them. They feel great. They fill the palms just a little bit better than the stock aluminum grips, and I can keep the aluminum grips in good shape just in case this ever happens, I ever have to trade this or sell it or whatnot. So anyway, a few minor modifications to really get it beefed up. Those parts are not super expensive, except for the grips. Those can be a little bit pricey. Ammunition for today's test is just going to be some Sig Sauer V-Crown Elite Performance ammunition. This is a 115 grain jacketed hollow point. I normally go with critical defense, and I thought maybe that's what I was going to keep in the pistol, but critical defense in 9mm is really hard to find around here, and I've got a lot. I mean, I've got it in all the firearms in the house and a few carbines and so on, but this is readily accessible, a little bit cheaper, although that doesn't matter, but I can get 50-round boxes of this for $39.99 at my local Shields, and it's run really well through any pistol I've tried it in. So we're going to run this through it. We're only going to do one magazine of this particular ammo. I'm also going to run some Federal and some more Fiocchi through the gun to see how well that hammer spring can handle different types of primers, and we're going to go from there. If you ever swap out hammer springs, you definitely want to make sure that you can shoot your current ammunition, because a lot of guys like to tune these to fire the ammunition that they compete with. And I want something that's going to work, you know, all around with the ammunition that I'm going to shoot with it at the range, because I'm not a competitor, but I also want this to function. And again, it does function on the side as a defensive firearm. So we'll take some shots from 7 to 10 yards and see what kind of accuracy, and just see how the feel is with the Sig Sauer Elite Performance V-Crown ammunition. All right, let's go hit the range. All right, guys, it's pretty chilly out here, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Apologies for the wind, can't do much about it. So anyway, we're going to go and take 9 shots with the Sig Sauer V-Crown. We'll put 3 in the center, 3 in the top left, 3 in the top right. And then we're going to run some Full Metal Jacket ball ammo through it. Now that I've got these new springs in here, I want to make sure it's going to cycle just some basic range ammo so I can come out and practice with no issues. And then, as a special treat for you guys, we're going to go ahead and shoot some Sig Sauer V-Crown across the chronograph and just see what the box numbers compare to what the gun actually produces. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So first shots, here we go. Again, I do like that ledge safety that I've installed on there. It definitely gives me a place to rest it, so I'm probably going to put my thumb over there. Hopefully I don't catch the slide while doing so. All right, here we go. Nice. Trigger feels much lighter. Oh, she is a tack driver. Okay, top left corner. I'm basically just covering up the bullseye with my front sight. All right, and now we'll do the top right. I think we just did the top left there. Okay, top right. Still have a tendency to push a little bit to the left in some of those shots. There we go. All right, now let's go and switch over to some ball ammo. We'll just do 3 rounds in the bottom left. All right, here we go. Bottom left-hand corner, 115 grain. Now this may change things a little bit, point of impact, point of aim, and so on. Again, it's really crisp. I can definitely feel a difference in that recoil. It's definitely smoothed out quite a bit. The gun pulls less upon retraction of the slide. All right, bottom left-hand corner. Oh, wow. If anything, it might be just a slightly lighter charge than that self-defense ammo, even though they're both 115 grain. That definitely reduces the recoil. Okay, let's go ahead and set up the chronograph, and we'll put a couple rounds across that and just see what that 5-inch barrel does to Sig Sauer V-Crown. All right, hang in there. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. Chronograph is right here. It's a bit of a glare going on with my camera. I'm going to go ahead and shoot, let's see, 5 rounds of 115 grain Sig Sauer V-Crown, and then we're going to follow it up with just 3 rounds of 115 grain Blazer. And just as a comparison, see how those velocities compare out of a nearly 5-inch barrel. I think it's a 4.8-inch barrel. I could be wrong. All right, here we go. Let's go and turn on the chronograph. All right, here we go. 366, 361, 367, 355, and 364. Okay, now we should be going into that Blazer ball ammo. Probably see the velocity drop off a little bit. 290, 289, and 306. All right, so we have not put a lot of rounds down the pipe, but right now we've had great results with these new springs. It feels a lot lighter. I've got some great brass ejection going on right now, and I think we're going to stick with these springs. All right, we'll go back to the house now where it's nice and warm. We're going to compare those groups, those sizes, see how they compare to the previous set of springs, and we will go from there. Okay, let's go ahead and check and see how we did overall. First group was 1.282 inches. This is the Sig Sauer V-Crown. 1.76 inches in the top left. It was identical in the top right, 1.76 inches again. The average of the 3 shots, the 3 groups averaged out was 1.60 inches. That's fine with me. When I shot the Hornady last week, it shot fine. I didn't really get a chance to measure groups on that. In fact, I just put 5 rounds through the pistol that I found that were not loaded in a magazine. Where I really saw the major improvement was the ball ammunition. So last week when I shot the CCI Blazer with the standard springs in it, I took the best 2-shot group that I had out of all the shooting that I did last week, and the average was 0.92 of an inch, okay? And if you watch that video, I do show the caliper readings and stuff, and you could check me on that if you want to. This time around, we had 0.587, just a ragged 3-hole group right here, and then 0.83, take 2 shots through the same hole, and this shot right here, for an average of 0.70. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. Obviously, the ball ammo was a little more accurate than the hollow point ammunition, but I'm very happy in the end. All right, so let's go and bring it back for a few final words. All right, so the Shadow 2 with those Cajun Gunworks recoil springs and hammer springs installed, I'm going to go ahead and leave them. As for the brass, the ejection pattern was very consistent. It was landing about 8 to 9 feet away, so I need to talk to my buddy and see if that's a little too much. Is that more than we want? Do we want to bring it back in by changing out that recoil spring a little bit? I'm not opposed to that. I know Cajun Gunworks has like a 4 or 5 spring kit you can get for 30 bucks. A tune-up kit is what they call it, or a tuning kit. So you can go that route if you want to. I love the lock grips. They are absolutely fantastic. They fit the hand well. Again, they lock into place. The gun didn't move at all. The gun is still freezing, by the way. So anyway, we had a good time shooting it, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is and just continue shooting it and have a lot of fun with it. It loves that ball ammo, ran everything consistently. As for the primer pinging with the firing pin, with that Blazer ammunition, it was a perfect strike on the primer. I did notice on the Sig Sauer it was a little bit lighter primer strike. Obviously, the ammo did go off. I'm not worried about it. But it could be because Sig Sauer is using a harder primer than Blazer. Sig might be using Winchester primers. I don't know. Some people say that certain primers are a little bit harder than others. But anyway, we had no trouble with it at all. It still ignited the ammunition. And again, we're going to definitely keep it around. So stay tuned. We'll bring you more videos with the CZ Shadow 2. In the meantime, guys, make sure you check out my podcast called Caliber Corner. We do that Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Central Time over here on the Travis P11 channel. But in the meantime, I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.